Yeah, welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe in the news. She is a first timer. It has happened to several senators, and they took that particular option. Who said this? Ubani, Special Advisor on Legal Matters, Monday Ubani, SAN, to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, has weighed in on the controversy surrounding the first-time senator who has chosen to pursue a matter in court instead of taking the path of reconciliation. Speaking in an interview with TVC, Ubani noted that the senator had the constitutional right to insist on seeing her case through, but argued that wisdom sometimes lies in resolving political conflicts outside the courtroom. She is a first-timer in the House. If things like this happen and they give you an option to apologize and move on, it has happened to several senators and they took that particular option. But she has a right not to. She can say, I want to pursue my matter to a logical conclusion. That is her choice, Ubani explained. The senior advocate, however, stressed the importance of dialogue and mediation, pointing out that many legislative disputes could be amicably resolved if leaders and elders intervene. There are certain things that can be resolved without going this entire hog in pursuing legal matters where leaders can come in and say, what is the issue? And they sit down on a round table, and before you know it, the matter is resolved, he added. Ubani maintained that while nobody could stop the senator from taking the legal path, it was often wiser to consider alternatives that preserve relationships and avoided prolonged conflict. Mr. Ubani is a special advisor on legal matters to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and he has come out to lend his own opinion as regards the political feud that is going on in the Senate between Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of Kodi Central and the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. For the SAN, his own take on the matter is the fact that it doesn't really matter that matters should be, concluded in court, even though it is within someone's fundamental human right. What is much more important is the resolution of the matter, whether through the court or out of court. But he also said that most matters of this nature always get settled outside of the court, that there is another route entirely that Akpoti Uduaghan can, explore and then be able to put a stop and total end to the quagmire going on between herself and the Senate at large now. Because of course any fight against the Senate president is fighting against the whole Senate. Even though if the person may want to really single out the Senate president as individual person, but to a large extent because he is occupying that position, it's tricky and a little bit difficult to separate him and the office. And that is why when he's fighting, he tries to fight. That's the Senate president now, with the mentality that he is fighting for the Senate, even though it might be that he's fighting for his own selfish or personal ambition. So the same thing goes even for the incumbent president of the country and executive leader. If anybody rises to fight against the executive leader, he is indirectly fighting against the whole nation. That's just it. Or even if it's a state, it's the whole state, because purportedly it's going to be seen in that light, because for that period of time that person is holding on to public office. So this is the situation that Natasha has found herself. But in reality, there may be some iota of truth in the reason why the woman has decided to pursue, the legal, route, just to make sure that she made her point and then stop the unnecessary impunity or the so-called harassment he had claimed on other genders within the rank and file of the Senate, especially the women or the female gender. And for Mr. Ovani, he felt that Natasha will have resolved the matter, same issues through other means. That there are sometimes when you don't go to court and you explain the matter to elders, they can come around and begin to ask what exactly is the problem, and they sit down together on it and resolve the matter amicably. But in this situation, I think the way Mr. Ubani is speaking, being the legal advisor of the Senate President, is a special advisor on legal matters, is trying to speak to Natasha indirectly that the option has not closed, that there are opportunity for her again. She can decide to withdraw from court and go the route of the route of reconciliation, and calling on elders to look into the matter. And I think as it is that she's even in court, the Senate is still leaving that route open so that she can explore it. And it seems the more she decides to go through the court, the more difficult her situation is, because the Senate is seeing the matter as the fact that it is going to result or amount into interference of another arm of government entering into the Senate chamber, telling him the Senate on what to do. And Senate has to be a arm of government on its own, representing the legislature. So that interference is going to be seen there. And even though there is nothing wrong about it, because while the all arms of government work together, the executive that executes various things, a project, we need some laws to back it up, and they go to the legislator to make the law for them, and then the legislator will have to send the law again even to the judiciary to do the interpretation of the law. So all the arms of government are working hand in hand, and for me, I don't see anything evil or wrong when someone, whether is a senator or not, approaches the court and then asks for interpretation of some decision that were made on her behalf, even from another arm of government. And then the other arm of government, who is saddled with responsibility of interpreting the law, then expose the situation and gave the right path to follow. What is wrong in the other arms of the law to embrace the decision of the third arm, which is the judiciary, and then do the needful and follow it quietly? But it's a pity that in Nigeria, our people rule with impunity, and the politicians who want to help say that they are the one in power, they call the shot in this nation, and as far as they are concerned, it is whatever they desire that must come to pass. Because from the way Mr. Abani is talking, the Senate wants to, push Natasha into the reconciliation route, going through the matter of the controversial issue outside of the court, and then the Senate can then look into whatever she is clamoring about. And he also mentioned the fact that maybe because she's a first timer in the house, so he said if this like this happened that and they give you an option to apologize and move on, it has happened to several senators and they took that particular option. But she has the right not to, which she has done, and is really, really not paying off for her. But let's wait and see whether the Senate will eventually give in and allow the woman to come in based on what the law says, and or it's going to be otherwise. But if it is still going to be the route of the court, I think the Federal Court of Appeal should sit down on the matter and make conclusion. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel. Give us your thumbs up. Thank you very much.